Class, we are going to talk about ratios, rates, and proportions. You should have this paper. I cut off the edges so they could fit into my journal. Make sure you don't cut off any numbers or important words or anything off of it. And then I folded it. And then we are going to flap to look at each one. So we have ratios, rates, and proportions. I want you first to write your name, so that if it falls out of your journal, we can find it and find you if I find it. Okay, so let's look at the first flap. A ratio is a comparison of two or more numbers. So we are going to compare two or more numbers. The example is we have 2 stars and 3 circles. So we can write the ratio of stars to circles as a 2 to 3. You should know that there are 3 ways to write a ratio. We can write it as, I'm going to say 2, 2, 3 with the word 2. We can write it as 2 colon 3. And we can write it as a fraction, 2 over 3. And once you do your ratio, you always want to be sure to simplify the ratio like a fraction, like you would a fraction. Okay, if you need to pause it so you can write that down, go ahead, because we are going to go on to rates. I hope you're listening, Cade, Brian, Madeline, just a couple shout outs. Okay, a rate is a ratio comparing two numbers with different units. So units are miles, hours, inches, feet, any kind of units that you want to use. Hamburgers, hot dogs, TVs, doesn't matter. Any kind of units, anytime you're specifying the unit of whatever we're talking about. So 100 miles to 2 hours. So we could actually reduce this, just like you would do 100 over 2. We could reduce by 2. And then that would equal 100 divided by 2 is 50. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And we keep the unit, so miles over hours, over hour, 1 hour. So a unit like this, a ratio like this, 50 miles to 1 hour, would mean that the person was traveling, or the car was traveling at 50 miles per hour. So that is a ratio written as a sentence. You could write it as a 50 mile over 1 hour, 50 to 1 hour, but make sure you keep your units. A unit rate tells the rate in lowest terms, or the amount for 1 unit. And the example, we already did that. So that's good. So unit rate tells the lowest in lowest terms, or the amount for 1 unit. Okay, let's move on to proportions. A proportion is an equation showing two ratios are equivalent. Equivalent means equal. So an example would be 10 over 25 equals 40 over 100. So that would be an equivalent ratio. Equivalent ratios, which means it's a proportion. In a proportion, if the ratios are equivalent, then the cross products are equal. So what I mean by cross products would be if I were to multiply the numerator and the denominator of the opposite one, I would get the same thing as if I multiply the numerator and denominator of the other one. So a lot of you learned the butterfly method. Well, these are also called cross products. So if I multiply 40 times 25, I should get the same thing as 10 times 100. So I'm going to check. So 0 times 5 is 0. 5 times 4 is 20. Put a 0 place value holder. 0, 8. Add those up. 1,000. And then if I multiply 100 times 10, I know if I multiply times 10, I'm just going to add an extra 0 on here. So they're cross products. So this cross product was 1,000, and this cross product was 1,000. So they are equivalent. So it says on here, think equal fractions. And you can always solve for a variable on here using the cross product. Okay, so go ahead and glue this in your journal and update your table of contents. Thank you. Y'all have a good